All right, guys, Auto Fanatics. So today's video is going to be a supplement to the video I posted in 2020 of the GT350, 350R, and also the GT Performance Pack, rock guards, splash guards, whatever you want to call them. So there's a couple of things that I want to emphasize in this video. This is going to be a full detailed installation video that's going to go inside with the full detailed instructions that come in the kit. Now, before we get started, we're going to go over everything. So you're going to get two handmade left and right specific splash guards. You're going to get two strips of VHB tape. You're going to get a little poly bag here with 4 plastic retainer clips and a packet of adhesion promoter, depending on what vendor we get. Now, we were supplying these when we originally launched it before the world went crazy. We were getting these really cool alcohol large prep pads. Can no longer get them, so I have a note in the installation kit of a couple of options you could use. So today we're going to be using Adhesion Prep, which is an IPA solution. You could also use like a clean strip, degreaser, Prepsol, anything from Auto Body to remove grease, wax, and oil. Now, the number one thing that you guys have to do, and I emphasize this and I revised the instructions a number of months back, and a lot of guys, out of all the ones that I've sold, literally on one hand, maybe a handful of guys had these things debond and fall off the car. It specifically says clean the plastic using white paper towels and solvent or IPA solution until the plastic is spotless and no black transfer is on the towels. The reason I'm telling you that is when I cut these and finish the edges and everything, the black plastic creates a lot of very fine dust. The dust gets into the grain of the plastic and on the backside. Even when it gets on your hands, it's going to cause an adhesion problem. So this is number one, and I'm going to show you guys today specifically what I mean by doing that. Also, another step, the tape, this tape was specifically sourced by a 3M outside vendor that does the die cutting for us. It requires 72 hours to reach the full bond, okay? So that's why I tell you, do not do it in temperatures below 55 degrees. Do not wash the car for several days. This will cause an issue. So just re-emphasize, follow the instructions, watch this video, and this install will go super, super easy. So, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about by cleaning the residue. I usually take the Adhesion Prep and we saturate both sides. We're going to fold the towel. Now, you could see all the little black dust that came off that quick wipe. We're going to go here. And sometimes I'll recommend doing this several times, not just once, because you want to have the towel completely clean. You don't want to have any residue left on the plastic. This is a dissimilar material that's going to be bonded with the VHB tape to the painted surface of the fender lip. So step one is successfully completed. I want to put these to the side, and I'm going to show you another important step. You have to have a heat gun, and I'm going to explain to you why right now. We need a heat gun for 2 reasons. Number one, it helps activate the VHB tape, especially with dissimilar surfaces. So we have a plastic material, VHB tape, and then the painted surface. Now on my particular 350R, I actually left the factory PPF, and that is doable as well. So if you look at the car here, you could see mechanically it's fastened on the bottom. You got your clips, and then the wheel well is arched up. The reason I mentioned the heat gun, and I'm going to show you in the installation of the video, is that the heat reactivates the plastic and it actually shapes it to this arch of the wheel well. Why is that important? It's important for 2 reasons, because there's no mechanical fastening like clips or screws or anything as this thing curves. Pieces of plastic, when they go through an arch, have surface tension. By heating them up, it's going to reshape the flat plastic to follow the arch and remove the surface tension, so there's no tension on this as you're driving. You can see how strong it is. I mean, this is put on over a year ago, and it's not coming off because, like I said, you're going to heat it up and you're going to shape the splash guard right to the arch of the front fender, and that's going to remove the surface tension. So if you go to put it on and you try to bend it, it's going to want to spring back. You don't want to have too much spring back, because then it's going to put premature tension on the VHB tape, and over time it could cause a premature failure. So that's just something I wanted to emphasize today, is we're using the heat gun to activate the VHB tape, and we're using the heat gun to shape and contour the plastic to the front wheel arch. Now, as you can see here, it's very easy for this piece to follow that contour. Now, if you take the unit as it comes and you put it in your hand, there's a hell of a lot more tension to spring it back and cause delamination if you don't follow the steps. So this already has a natural curve, and this is what we're going to reuse. I'm just going to clean this up, do a test fit. Now, how do we do that? We're going to be using 2 of the new supplied retaining pins, and we're going to be using them pretty much just on one hole on the bottom. Okay, we're going to stick this through just like that, and we're going to leave it there. We're going to put it through halfway, like I show you right there. We're going to put it through halfway. All this is really going to do is index where this is going to land on the actual fender lip. Okay, so we're pretty much in this hole here, and we're not pushing it in. Okay, so now you see where we're at. What I like to do is take a piece of masking tape. So we're going to push that in the hole just like that. So it's not all the way through, so it's not going to be captive and you're not going to ruin your clip. So what I do on the fender, I put a piece of masking tape just like this. Okay, you could use a body shop marker, you could use a watercolor crayon, whatever. Why am I doing that? Because when we put the adhesion promoter, we don't want to put it up here. We don't want to put it over here. We want to specifically put it from the top of where this is going to sit, right here, from this edge all the way down to this edge, so you don't waste it. Okay, so we're pretty much good with that. That's definitely a very important thing that I like to show you guys, is definitely do a test fit, put a piece of tape, and you can see here it's so much easier to do, being that this already has the arch that follows the contour like I mentioned on the bench. That's why we need a heat gun. So I'm going to get this thing prepped. We're going to clean it up. We're going to put the adhesion promoter. We're going to put a new piece of VHB tape. We're going to heat it up, roll it out, and the install is going to be done in a couple of minutes. All right, guys, we're back. So I just got the lip all cleaned up and ready to go. Now, something else I'm going to show you guys as far as a little tip. So we got the masking tape up here. We got the clip halfway through. We're going to index it. We're going to line it up. Now, what I like to do is I like to take a white pencil and I run it along the edge here all the way down on the splash guard. Now, why do I do that? Okay, you see where I marked it? Because I also put adhesion promoter on this little edge as well. So you want to put the adhesion promoter pack on the actual surface of the car. If you want, you can leave the PPF, you can remove it, it's totally up to you. But if you prep it right and you use a good degreaser, an IPA, and you clean it, you put the adhesion promoter, you put your new fresh piece of tape, you put a little adhesion promoter on here, you lock in the tabs, heat it up, and we're pretty much done. So we're going to take the adhesion promoter out of the pack, and when you're done with it, you probably should do this with gloves. So you can see it's a little sponge. So we're just going to run this right along the edge up until that piece of tape. And that's why I put it there, so you don't overdo it. And then when you're done, just put it back into the pouch, because we're going to need it for the other side. Now we did that. Now I'm going to pull it out. Now I'm going to give a little bit right along the edge, just like this. I'm using the edge of the adhesion promoter foam sponge. I'm going right along that line that I put. Okay, just up to that line. You guys could probably see that on camera. So you don't have to go crazy, just a little bit. All this is going to do is ensure that we get a good bond. So we're going to put that to the side. We're going to let this sit for a couple of minutes and let it fully kick. Now you could also take the heat gun and accelerate that, which is what I'm going to do here. You want the solvent of the adhesion promoter to fully evaporate. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time doing this. As I'm heating this guard up, it's actually forming the shape even further. That's kind of what I'm emphasizing in this video, as far as little tips and tricks on how to get this done successfully so you guys don't have any issues. Okay, so the kit's going to come with 2 pieces of VHB tape. These are specifically cut to size, and if you look here, it's specifically cut along the length of what we need. So we're going to peel off one. And this is already really sticky. Wow. And that's just from the adhesion promoter. I go over it with the heat gun Just quick passes on like a medium to high setting. You don't want to burn it. You don't want to burn the paint. Then I'm going to take my firm roller here. I mean, you could do this with a piece of wood. You could do this with a beer bottle if you had to. But I definitely recommend doing this so you're ensuring that you get any air pockets out between the tape and the edge of the fender. The other pin, the other push pin, we're going to put that in just for indexing purposes. Just like that. We're not going to put it in all the way. And then we're going to reuse the upper factory pin, okay? Because the ones that I was trying to source are too long and they don't go into this cavity, so we're reusing the larger factory pin, and you're going to use the new pins that I included in the kit. All right, so I usually use the edge of a razor blade just to go in here and get that red protective layer off. Now, if you didn't put the adhesion promoter and heat it up and roll it, when you go to pull this off, because I use this stuff so often, it's actually going to pull the tape off the substrate of what you're trying to bond it to, and that's a problem. That's why you got to follow these simple steps. Before we put the plastic on there, I like to heat up the contact surface of the VHB tape because it actually activates the adhesive. And while you're doing it, if you look carefully, when you're doing it, you'll see it gets a little glazed looking, and you might see tiny, tiny little bubbles. And that's the adhesive part of the foam tape that's getting reactivated. And that's what we want. Okay. So we're going to line it up, and then you're going to use your, okay. Now we're locked in. Now, we're going to take the heat gun again, because we want to form this plastic to the natural arch of the fender. Just like this. Get it nice and hot because we're trying to reshape this plastic. And then go with the roller. Nice and firm. Just like that. So that's going to take out all that surface tension from these pieces of plastic being flat. And it's going to ensure that this thing is not coming off the car without a lot of effort. I'll tell you that now. Just to shoot this video today, this was a lot of work to get this splash guard off the car. Take the factory push pin, push it in, and we're pretty much done. Remove your tape, and that's it, guys. All right, guys, so that's the finished results. You guys could see it there. This is my GT350R, and there's not one single stone chip anywhere on the bottom of the car. Now, like I said in the intro of the video, PPF is a great solution. It's expensive, but PPF does not prevent the rocks from hitting the side of the car. That's where these guards were specifically designed to prevent the rocks from hitting the sides of the car. You can watch the original video, you can watch the demo clips in this video. It's a super effective, affordable solution. Also, these are in stock, on sale now at the Auto Fanatic website, so order today. This video should help and clarify anybody that's got questions about the installation, but it's super easy. Take your time, follow the printed instructions, and you will not have any issues whatsoever. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Auto Fanatic channel, like I said, and thanks for the continued support of all the products and services that I offer through the Auto Fanatic website and Auto Fanatic YouTube channel. Stay tuned for more content. Like I said, these are on sale now, 20% off at the Auto Fanatic website, and if they do go out of stock, it will be about 2 weeks before I can make another batch. So any questions, always contact me direct, and I'll talk to you guys soon on the next video. Take care, guys.